What's up? What's up? Episode 169. I was waiting for my theme music. Guess that's not on today. But anyway, here we are again. Another episode of Is This the End? Is this the end for the Steelers? We shall see. Is this the end for Matt and Julio? It might be. Is this the end for the football season? We almost there. Is this the end for the NBA season? Nah, it's just beginning. This is the end for the 2020 Rev and the coach. Looking forward to the 2021 version. Looking forward to our college and NFL football picks. Episode 169. It can't end until it begins. I'm Red, Rev and Coach. Let's begin.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red Rev Sports Show. We're coming to you live from the ATL Shorty. Giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what? Real knowledge. Sports knowledge. So come on in, hang out with your boys, Red Rev and the coach for episode 169 for these next hour or two. And as is our custom, Coach Patrick Thomas, won't you give us something related to 169?
Well, our 169. Good morning, everybody. I'll give you the 169 is going to go to a guy who played most of his career with the Minnesota Vikings wearing number 69. He's a future, and probably this year he should be going into the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best defensive ends of his time, and he is the number one leader in the NFL in safeties. At the defensive spot, he has more safeties picked up than anyone in the NFL, and that number 69 is Jared Allen, former defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings, wore number 69.
All right. Yeah, I remember Jared Allen from the Madden, John Matt back in the day. So, yeah, thank you so much. Coach, you got any earbuds?
Hall of Fame. He going to.
He has a chance to. He has a chance to this year.
Okay. All right. Coach, you got any earbuds? We got
okay. I didn't even know he was up.
No earbuds. Let me cut it down a little bit.
So you go to Mississippi unprepared to do the show.
But
right. Come on, man. You know how we get down, brother. You're killing the show.
Coach.
So Coach in Mississippi? We got this echo going on, man. Yeah, he's in Mississippi. He went home, and he got an echo all over the show. So I'm going to have to mute his mic for half of the show.
Coach, your Mississippi, you Mississippi burning, Coach.
All right, gentlemen, let's get ready to rock and roll for episode 169. Let's see who's hanging out with us on today. We see that people have chimed in. Merry Christmas to you, Shelby. And she's already doping, hoping, and noping before we even got there. So we'll get to her in just a minute. Vincent, this should definitely be the end for Matty Rice. Okay, they gearing up. What's up with you, Vincent? Good morning to you, Miss Harris. Good morning, Joe Black, representing from Florida.
Joe Black.
We already know that one thing Red got for he talking about Red showing off that Mamba jersey he got for Christmas.
No, hey, this just a t-shirt, Vince. I ain't showed you the jersey yet. This just a t-shirt, baby.
All right, good morning to you, Natasha Burt. Merry Christmas and Hanukkah and all that good stuff. Kwanzaa to you, Thomas Holcomb. What's up, Armani? Minnesota infrastructure not up to date.
I told you, Mississippi burning, baby.
Good morning, Miss Heather Joy. All right, gentlemen, let's get right into Red and Rev Sports Show business. We'll try to work out this little echo thing, and then we'll go from there. But here we are, man. Let's get ready to rock and roll with our normal nope and cope session of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And then later on in the show, we have something that we're going to bring out that I hope will be insightful and you like later on. So let's get ready to dope, nope, and cope. And fans, we want you to feel free to dope, nope, and cope with us. We, as Shelby has already shown how to do it, go ahead on and post whatever your dope, nope, and cope may be for this particular week. Dope is what you felt was exciting and good. Nope, what you didn't think was exciting or good. And cope, what you feel sad about or what situation made you feel sad in the sports world. All right, let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's change it up today. Red, we'll start with you. What are you doping on today?
Uh, as you can tell by my wardrobe, it was a special event happening earlier this week. I think it was Tuesday night. I'm doping on that great Lakers ring ceremony. Well, I finally saw my team get their championship rings after 10 long years of suffering, 6 long years of suffering without even making the playoffs. But we are finally back. My Lakers are finally back on top where they belong. And you saw it Tuesday night as they got their shiny new rings, the most expensive NBA championships ever, Genie. Well, Queen Genie, I like how you spend it, baby. And that was a dope moment. His families presenting them their rings. That was a real special moment. Like I said, got me misty eyed watching some of those players' families. And one thing I will laugh at is Giannis Greek freak talking about when his brother got his ring, talking about this is the first ring in the family. Greek freak, this might be the only ring in the family. And if you're talking about you getting the ring now may get 2 or 3. If you referring to yourself, don't speak so soon, baby. You ain't even made the NBA Finals yet. But anyway, that was a very dope moment watching my Lakers crown champions, crown receiving their championship rings. I only wish could have pulled the banner down on the Clippers while you're right there watching. But don't worry, Clippers. You're going to see another banner go up in there soon, and it won't be Clippers. It'll be the only team that's up in the rafters, the LA Lakers, baby. Thank you. Good night.
All right, we let you go on a little bit since you were gloating about your championship. We're going to cut you down about 15 seconds for the nope and the cope. All right, but go ahead on. All right, good job that your Lakers did their thing and got their rings. And, yeah, we're going to get you set up. Here we go. I got to do the right thing by Red. Hit him with a nice one. Oh, yeah. All right, there we go. What am I doping on today? I am doping on the fact that I can't find my notes on what I'm doping for. No, Josh Allen. Josh Allen did that thing for me last Saturday. Just had a phenomenal game. Carved up the Denver Broncos, just what I needed him to do, as I gave him my "you have the right" moment last week, and he took me up on my "you have the right," where I told him he had the right to ball out so that I could go to my fantasy football championship. And that's what he did. Went 28 for 40, threw for 359 yards, 2 TDs in the air, and two TDs rushing. He did that for Rev, and I will be competing beginning today for the fantasy championship that Coach is in, that he won't be playing in, but he's in that league. And I'll be the first 2-time champion of my fantasy league. If I don't get a championship one way, I get a championship another way. Book it.
Oh my God.
I had to let y'all have the coronavirus championships this year. So
it's the coronavirus championship.
Yeah. The coronavirus championship.
Coach, you see you hating on your championship, man.
Yeah. You know, that's the only way Coach could get it in a shortened cancellation plague season. That's the only way. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead, Coach. What are you doping on, man? What are you doping on?
Well, my dope moment is for looking at all the NFL players who are doing things for their community and for their parents and everything this Christmas holidays. I saw Juju, even though he got castigated for his dancing, giving out food to needy families. I saw some NFL players buying their parents their first houses And pretty much that's what it's all about in the holiday season, the season of giving. So I'm doping on the NFL players doing things for their family and their community.
All righty.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Coach is doping on the holiday spirit. All
The
right.
NFL philanthropist.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. My note moment has to go to Dwayne Haskins making it rain in the strip club without a mask, jeopardizing his teammates' health, jeopardizing the Washington team's opportunity to possibly go to the playoffs by being silly. He was stripped of being captain. I don't know why he was labeled as captain in the first place.
Exactly.
because he had done nothing in the NFL that warrants him being captain. I guess they thought he was going to be the starting quarterback, and therefore, because he was going to be the starting quarterback, he messed around. They thought he should be captain, but we see that Alex Smith, after being out the game for a doggone near 2 years, has already taken his place, and if he didn't get hurt, he would have started last week. So my note moment goes to one, Dwayne Haskins. Love the black QB, but brother, you got to be smarter not to jeopardize your teammates as well as jeopardize your team's potential opportunity to go to the playoffs. So he gets my note moment for this week.
Hey, Rev. Dwayne Haskins, like Captain Phillips, instead of you are the captain now, you are not the captain now. You are not the captain now.
No doubt about it. They stripped him ASAP. All right, Coach, what are you noping on?
Okay, for this note moment, I think I'm going to take my glasses off again because this is going to get ugly.
See when you take
now, I hate for it to get ugly, but we're going to have to get ugly. My note moment goes to one Randy Moss. Mr. Randy Moss, can I ask you a question? It is no doubt that you are one of the most talented brothers to ever play the position of wide receiver. Your talent exceeds a lot of players. You were great. I mean, you were big time back in your day, back in the days of playing. You said you did so much for your teams, helping to win. You were one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. But Randy Moss, you are not Jerry World Rice, my partner, my fellow alumni brother. We went to school together at Mississippi Valley State University. So I'm going to tell you this, Randy Moss, you are not Jerry Rice. And I don't want to hear about Jerry Rice had great quarterbacks. You had Tom Brady, who considered the best quarterback. So you jumping up here saying Jerry Rice is the third best wide receiver in NFL history, and you number one and T.O. is number two, you must be out of your mind, son. Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game of NFL football. And he showed you night in and night out when you were talking about, oh, I took some time off, or you couldn't even run a route tree, son. Your route tree existed of one thing, and that was the 9. And the 9, as we know, is the go route. Jerry Rice ran a route tree, ran through the middle, around the end, up the sides, everywhere. So, Randy Moss, let me tell you something. Next time you disrespect Jerry Rice, I'm going to find you, Mr. West Virginia, with your bad accent. Don't ever come here talking about Jerry Rice is the number 3 wide receiver of all time. I'm done, Rev.
Oh, come on!
Look like you and Red been sipping on the same extended version juice of Dope, Nope, and Coke, man.
Yes, sir. I had to get that out.
I see. Tell us how you really feel. Go ahead on, Red. Your turn. Cut yours about 15 seconds this time around. Go ahead.
It ain't gonna take this long. I'm noping on LaMelo Ball and his debut. Dude, from scoring 92 points in a high school game to finally debuting in the NBA. And guess how many points you scored? I'll give you a hint. Starts with Z and it rhymes with hero. 0 points scored in your NBA debut, LaMelo Ball. Dude, after all that hype and all this talk, you can't even get a basket, 2 points. You can't even get to the free throw line. Dude, nope. Boy, you got a long ways to go. But at least the dope part is we don't have to hear your daddy talking, because no way he can slurp on you scoring 0 points in your NBA debut. Nope, LaMelo Ball, nope.
All right, you heard the nope from Red. Nope on him.
No!
All right. it rolls back to me. What am I coping on? And this has been a tough year of losing various celebrities and athletes and so forth and so on. And this past week, we lost two good, phenomenal athletes who impacted their respective sports. We lost one, Kevin Green, who played for the Carolina Panthers, but more so with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He lost his life. Great linebacker, defensive end. Had a great career. And then we lost Casey Jones, former champion as a player as well as a coach for the Boston Celtics. So rest in peace to those two brothers, and we pray for their families. So that's what I'm coping on this particular week. Go ahead. I'm not going to play anything behind that. Go ahead, Coach. Hold on.
Red.
You know what?
Red.
I was supposed to start with you, Coach, and I was supposed to go last. My bad. But you go ahead on, Coach.
Well, my coat moment is for Kara Lawson and the Duke women's basketball team, who, because of COVID, has canceled their entire season. And I hope they can cope with not playing, because this was her first season coaching in college basketball, and for it to be canceled because of COVID, it was a tough decision, but they came to the conclusion they had to do it. And I know it hurts all of those young ladies plus her. So I hope that they can cope with the aftermath of that decision. I know the men are still playing, but the women have decided to cancel their season. So that's my cope moment.
All right, Red, and you close out the Dope Note Cope section of this show. What are you coping on?
Well, I'm coping on with the Falcons. Looks like they about to hire somebody other than Lou Riddick to be their GM. And I'm talking about Rick Smith. So after all my Lou Riddick talk, look like I have to cope with another selection. Now, I'm not poo-pooing Rick Smith, because he did do some good things in Houston. Did one bad thing in signing Brock Osweiler. But most of his other moves were pretty good, if not decent. So, but after all that Lou Riddick slurping I did, I still have to cope with them going in another direction. I just hope, Rick Smith, you ready, because we need intelligence. We need just the same turnaround you had in Houston. We probably gonna need it here in Atlanta. But Lou Riddick, what could have been? Oh.
All right, Red was dreaming about Louis Riddick. Let's see what the fans are doping, open, and coping on. I know Shelby had hit it hard right off the beginning. She's doping on Florida and their NCAA infractions. That sounds like a Georgia fan, loving that. Let's see. She is coping on working on her shoe purse wall. Okay. All right. Let's see who else is doping, open, and coping this morning. Vincent Woodruff. Because I'm a Falcons/Chiefs fan, I couldn't talk about Kamara's 6 TDs, but that was definitely a wonderful feat, tying an NFL record for most rushing TDs in the game. That was dope. His note moment, Dwayne Haskins. Yeah, he talked about what I said. AK-41 is the man. Sounds like we have a New Orleans Saints fan in the midst, in Natasha Burke. Let's see.
Right.
Is doping on Falcons losing out to get a top 3 pick. That's a dope or your nope or cope moment. If you're a Falcons fan, that ain't a dope moment.
That's not even been confirmed yet. We don't know. They're not gonna get a top 3 pick, buddy.
Losing out to get no. They got 2 more games to lose.
Yeah, they're not gonna get a top 3.
Falcons consideration for GM getting interesting. That's a dope moment. Okay, these are some interesting dopes.
Really?
The Rose Bowl to Texas. Did they officially do that?
Yeah.
It's in the making.
Okay, so Notre Dame and Alabama will be playing in Texas as opposed to California.
You know they want fans at the game. Yeah.
He's stupid. Dope moment for Thomas Holcomb. At least the Falcons has a good young hole. Moving on.
Rev, you walk right
Kelly.
into that, man.
Kelly, watch yourself. Stay tuned. Rev may not be buying any steak if Red keeps on doing what he's doing. So stay tuned now. That might be Red again, taking us to Longhorn. Stay
Kelly,
tuned.
we ain't even got there yet. So good Lord, she always trying to fast forward something like her sorry Yellow Jackets.
Nope, Joe Black, Marvin Lewis being a hot commodity. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He back, man.
Vincent said, Coach, about the nope on them Steelers. No, that would not happen. They'd be 0-16.
Never.
Nope on them. Thomas Hope, dope. Tiger was playing with the Sun. Charlie last weekend. That was dope. Yeah, that was
good
dope.
job, Thomas. I had that on my dope too.
Randy
switched
Moss
it up to the ring ceremony.
Was so disrespectful. He did not need to come for Jerry Rice like that. That's interesting.
No, sir.
No, he wasn't. I agree with Randy Moss.
All right, we'll talk about that in a second. James Harden still acting like a fool. Don't want him on my sectors, acting very selfish. I could see that. Nope moment.
Is he going
James Harden still being the proverbial. Okay. I don't know what that last word was supposed to be, but we understand it wasn't anything.
It's a synonym for another word.
I got you, especially after. Okay, let's see who else we got. Coach is hot today. That's what Sister Harris saw today. That she's discerning Coach being a little hot about Jerry Rice being criticized. Vincent Woodruff, Coach, the 22 years over, 2021 can only be better. That's what we hope and pray. No doubt about that. Armani is coping on college football playoff committee. I don't know if you see me or hear me on Twitter, but it's time to expand the playoff, 16 playoff. We need it, or even 8. It's time. Coping, Joe Black losing in the fantasy semifinals by 0.27 points instead of facing Rev and facing Alvin Kamara. Man, that's a tough loss, man. That's one of the toughest losses I've ever seen.
How'd you get for beating me?
Yeah, man, that's tough right there, Joe. I would be hot too, man. The Browns are better than the Falcons. Wow, that's a serious coat, man. Who'd ever thought that? That's true. They are definitely better than the Falcons. Rich McKay having a major role in the front office. That's what Joe is coping on. Shelby has a quick question. Don't the Duke men's and women's team go to the same school? I call BS. I call it one makes way more money than the other. And that's why the Duke Blue Devils men's team can't cancel the season because they mean too much to the NCAA basketball.
Hey,
one is unfortunately.
Thank you, Ray, for breaking it down.
Than the other one, and if the Duke Blue Devils, even though they're not having a great season this year, cancel their season, that would be horrible for men's college basketball. Coach, you had something to say?
Nobody wants to see them play.
What'd you say? Quick point on that. Duke basketball girls had 3 positive tests. The boys hadn't had any, but they've had several positive tests among their girls. That's why they are moving toward the cancel. And that they had to cancel some games because of the COVID test. So, I just looking at it. So they had to give up some games.
Yeah. Love you, Jamal Smith. Love you all. Merry Christmas. Y'all better than Kenny Smith and Shaq any day. We love that. We love it, man. Tweet that. Go ahead and let the world know what you just said. Appreciate that.
Appreciate you, cuz.
Coach K will ride it out as long as he can. The decision will continue to be interesting by the day, no doubt about it. And last one, Horace E. Thomas Jr. I think he's the brother of someone on his show. Dope, potentially adding coach name to the show title. All right.
Oh, no.
That's definitely a coach relative right there.
Go ahead, man. We love Coach. We love Coach. Yeah, he came in 50 episodes in, so he been hanging out with us for a while.
Man, it was that many episodes, man.
No, it probably wasn't that many. It wasn't that many because I think he came in the fall. We had started in the early of the winter. January became a regular like October of the fall. So I think that's what happened. Yeah, but we're glad to have Coach and we're glad to feature him each week. What's up with Cam Newton? He's not playing.
He'll be at Westlake next year, cuz that's what up with him. He'll be coaching at Westlake, cheerleaders, and maybe a football position.
All right, man. Let's get these picks out the way. We got some picks that will be taking place today, and then the rest of them will be taking place during the course of the week as we go to our NCAA picks as we begin our picking. And we got some interesting things happening in the NCAA picking world. as we give us our standings. Red just went for broke, and he went for broke for real, and probably hurt himself last week. But nevertheless, he went 2-3. He won Ohio State and Cincinnati. That takes his record to 30-15. Rev went 5-0, won Ohio State, Oklahoma, Cincy, Clemson, Alabama to go 33-12. Still 3 games behind Coach, who might get the the double chip this year. Trying to give his best Rev impersonation with Ohio State, Oklahoma, Cincy, Clemson, and I've done it 2 times on the show, so I understand. I'm starting to rub off on you. I got you, man. But nevertheless, Coach, you're still up by 3 games. You're up 3 games on me and 6 games on Red. And we'll go to our games. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games to choose from on this week. And since we started with we started with Red for the Dope Nope Cope. We'll start with him again for Dope Nope Cope, and then we'll go from there. Let me give us some picking music, and we'll have some fun picking the games. Fans, feel free to put your picks, and we'll highlight those picks on the screen and let us know next week how you did, and we'll be happy to toot your horn, because I know Kelly loves tooting her horn about her picks that she makes, and she's doing an excellent job. If I give her some props, if she's truly been picking those teams. I don't go back and watch the show all the time to see if she was really doing what she's doing, but she's a trustworthy woman, so I'm gonna give her credit, even though I can't validate it. All right, let's go with it. Let's go with it.
Did you turn up my headphones, please?
Oklahoma State, Miami, playing in the Cheez-It Bowl.
No.
A bunch of Cheez-Its.
The Cheetos Bowl, what?
So, Red, who you rolling with, Oklahoma State versus Miami?
I'll tell you who I ain't rolling with. I ain't rolling with no Miami. After that embarrassment the other week, just pretty much made a fool out of me. I ain't never picking Miami again. I hope my restore is watching, because I ain't picking the U. Forget the U. And I want to use stronger words than that. I'll be taking the Cowboys from Oklahoma State. Thank you.
All right. Oh, man, this is a tough one for me. I wish I had let Coach pick this one first, because I would have gone the opposite of his direction. But I'm going to go with Oklahoma State as well. Miami, after that debacle, I can't roll with them. They disappointed me. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State as well to win the Cheez-It Bowl. Who you got, Coach?
Well, I'm going with Oklahoma State for the simple fact is that Miami showed against North Carolina they can't stop the run. And that running back for Oklahoma State ran for almost 400 yards the last game he played. So if they can't stop the run on North Carolina, they definitely won't stop him. So I'm going with Oklahoma State.
All right, looks like all the fans are taking Oklahoma State as well, but the only person is Joe Black rolling with Miami, because I guess he lives in Florida and feels obligated to do so. All right, next game. It's on me. The VRBO, Verbo Citrus Bowl, Auburn versus number 14, Northwestern. And I'm going to go with Auburn for the upset. Maybe they have an incentive to play hard, especially since they have a new head coach. I'm not big on that new head coach. I don't see much difference between the guy from Boise State and Gus Malzahn. I think Auburn, their fan base is like a church. They want new leadership, but don't want to let them go of old habits. And the boosters are going to be the worst enemy to Auburn's progress. But that's another story for another day. But I'm gonna say these players want to prove themselves to the new coach, fighting for scholarships. So give me Auburn to pull the upset over Northwestern. Who you got, Coach?
This is a battle of two teams who you can't trust because you don't know which one. And somebody told me, and I quote, that Pat Fitzgerald is being considered for a lot of NFL jobs, which is kind of stunning because he's never won a championship. in the Big Ten. But I guess since he may be gone, Northwestern might play their best game. So I'm gonna go with Northwestern. I don't like Auburn. What's the quarterback? Nix, can't stand him, don't trust him. So I'm gonna go with Northwestern.
That's part of the reason why I went with Auburn, because I knew you were going to go with Northwestern. I got to find the games, got to find at least 2 games somewhere where I can get at least a tie. But go ahead, Red. Who you got, Auburn and Northwestern?
I'm not messing with Auburn. Northwestern. Enough said.
Y'all go. Let me use one of Red's lines. You gonna leave me on an island by myself? Yeah. All right, go ahead, Coach. It's on you, man. Georgia versus Cincinnati.
Oh no!
Who you got?
Oh my gosh! Why did I get this game? Okay.
Oh, hold on. Before you choose, Coach, let me see who the fans picked that last one. I'm sorry. I went a little ahead of myself real quickly. Northwestern actually play Ohio State. Well, Rev spoke my mind with that Auburn take. I felt you, Dante. I thought about you immediately when they made that hire, man. I thought about you. We see that mostly Northwestern is getting the love. All right, here we go. Coach is back on you, sir. Georgia, Cincinnati, all picking sports eyes are on you.
You look at Georgia, and like I said, JT Daniels had brought that spark into him, but Cincinnati has been on it all year. It's going to come down to a field goal, and Cincinnati be kicking that field goal. I'm going with Cincinnati.
You just went in Shelby's doghouse, Coach. You just went in Shelby's doghouse. No more free passes for you, Coach. No more free passes. The venom is coming. The black and red venom is coming for you, Coach. I see it coming. Coach goes against his sports show boo and picks Cincinnati. All right, Red, who you rolling with?
Coach, you need a new boo. But anyway, I'm rolling with UGA. You know, I'm not gonna be in Shelby's doghouse for this pick. I might be in her doghouse for something else, but I'll definitely be rolling with my boys. And it's very tempting now because Cincinnati, I like what Coach said. They are undefeated. They've been balling all year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come down here and sneak one. But UGA, they've been crying all year for another game. Well, you gonna get another game, and it's not at Sanford, but it's still in your backyard. It's at Mercedes. So come on down here and show the world that you belong in the Final Four. But if you don't beat Cincinnati, we're gonna feel like y'all were just fraud. So handle Cincinnati, and we'll see that maybe, just maybe, you were snubbed.
Coach, I just want you to read this before I make my pick. You read this?
Yeah, I did.
All right, so you know your boo is not happy with you. The venom is coming.
All right, Coach, I'm sure you shaking in your boots, ain't you, Coach?
Now, let me just say this. If Cincinnati wins, I wouldn't be surprised, for after all, many of Georgia's top players are preparing for the NFL draft. Some of them have opted out of this game. Cincinnati definitely has more incentive to win this game, to prove themselves more so than Georgia. But nevertheless, I still think all across the board, Georgia has the most talent. And I think even their second and third string could be first stringers on Cincinnati. That's why I'm going to still roll with Georgia. I think they're going to do the same thing that they did last year against Baylor. Those young guys got a lot to prove. They still got a lot of guys coming back, playing next year. And I think JT Daniels is going to give us a game to remember, to let us know that Georgia will be a force to be reckoned with come the 2020-21 season. So give me the Bulldogs. All right. Let's see. Next game is on, Coach. Number 7, Florida against number 6, Oklahoma. This is a good one right here.
How do I get 2 in a row?
What you mean?
I just picked that Georgia.
Oh, you just picked Georgia. Okay, my bad. But you see this week, you see this last week. You went, I'll choose.
Okay. Hey, no problem.
No. Go ahead, Red. You know you're gonna complain this week. Last week, I'll pick. Had his big sports show chest out. I'll pick. Ain't no problem. You know, but this week, I'll pick too. You got high pitch. Go ahead, all Red. Go with it. just jabbing with you, coach. All right, go with it.
Man, you got me crying. You got me crying over here, man. Yeah, coach, you weren't like that. But anyway, this is easy. Oklahoma.
Wow, it's that simple.
That simple. Don't trust Florida. Don't trust their defense. Don't trust their offense. Not when the lights are brightest in a big game. You had the opportunity, Florida, to show us you were that king. And what have you done when the lights get big and the game gets pressurized? We know you just gonna fold up like a lawn chair. You did it against LSU. You did it against Alabama. You got to do it against Oklahoma too. Oklahoma ready for you. Let's see. I think they. Woo. And surprisingly, Oklahoma defense is a little bit better than y'all's. I'm taking Oklahoma. I can't stand Florida.
All right. Oh, man. This is a tough one for me, man. But
that ain't that tough, Rev. Go with your instinct.
Florida's definitely on down. They're definitely on the downward spiral. Losing to LSU at home. They're losing to Alabama, which is not a surprise. But they definitely are struggling. I don't know how they get up for this particular game since this game doesn't really mean anything with the college football playoff. So Oklahoma has more to prove. Oklahoma got all of their losing out early on in the season. So I'm going to roll with Oklahoma to beat Florida. Coach, who you got?
Shelby said it best when she said she wouldn't pick Florida. They were playing themselves, and I ain't picking them either. I'm going with Oklahoma because Spencer Rattler is probably trying to make a case starting for his Heisman campaign next year. So, and Trask is on his way out. He's already probably, they're gonna lose by trying to throw a shoe at winning. So I'm gonna go with Oklahoma.
All right, Oklahoma across the board. All right, next game is on me. Number 4, Notre Dame against number 1 Alabama in the college football playoff, Rose Bowl. You already know who I'm rolling out. Give me the fighting. No, I don't. Give me the Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Exactly. Roll Tide is going to kill one Notre Dame. I don't even know how Notre Dame got into the playoff. Actually getting shellacked by Clemson. Barely beating Clemson when they had a backup. That should have been enough for the committee to go somewhere else. But I understand college football has lost a lot of money. It's all about ratings. We know Notre Dame has a national television audience, so that's probably the reason why they got in, so that they can sell to advertisers that they have an attractive college football playoff, putting Notre Dame in there against Alabama because the Notre Dame is much sexier, if you will, than Oklahoma and Texas A&M when it comes to college football. So Alabama it is. Coach, who you got, man?
Well, Texas A&M, the committee didn't want to see Texas A&M get drop kicked by Alabama again, so that's probably the reason why they were out. And Oklahoma lost 2 games, so they wasn't getting in. So by default, Alabama gets to be the assassination, the execution, whatever you want to call it. So, and they say Alabama, they want them in the national championship game. Here you go. They'll probably win by 30, and that'll probably be in the first half. So I'm going with Alabama.
All right, Alabama. Red, are you making it unanimous?
Well, Notre Dame has the national TV audience, but I don't think that'll matter because the Nielsen rating is going to be down for this game because it's going to be over with at halftime, and we're probably going to be switching the channel to something else. So you definitely know I'm taking Alabama. And as far as what Coach said about Texas A&M getting drop kicked, well, shoot, if this one is over at halftime and Notre Dame by 30, this will look like another drop kick. A drop kick, a beat down, hit your shoulder, a DDT, bam, like that. So whatever drop kick Alabama had for Texas A&M, you can multiply that by 100, and that's what they got for Notre Dame. Alabama across the board. I don't think there's a fool in this country that think Notre Dame about to beat Roll Tide unless them fools reside in South Bend, Indiana.
All right, it's unanimous. We got Alabama across the board. Nobody is definitely surprised about that. All right, let's go with the next game and last game for the college football playoff. Ohio State, or the Ohio State against Clemson. Coach, it's on you. Who you got?
Thanks, Rev.
It's a battle of supposed Heisman candidates, and that's what they claim it. But it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a shootout just like last year. I'm going with Ohio State for the simple fact is I think Justin Fields has something to prove after last year, and he has the session with the running back. I don't know how Clemson defense is against the run. I don't know if it's that good or bad, but probably good. But Sessions and my boy Rev, you know my boy Master T, back there in the backfield, and nobody's picking Ohio State but me. I guarantee that all across the country, because everybody's saying Clemson is the big bad juggernaut. They're gonna get back, so I'm picking Ohio State.
All right, Red, are you rolling with Coach?
I sure am. So,
What?
Coach, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm right here with you, baby. And Fields got something to prove. He got something on the line. I'm taking my Georgia quarterback instead of the country Georgia quarterback. I love Trevor Lawrence, man. But hey, snubbing Fields, that might give him an incentive to go out and say, don't hold that down just yet. We don't know who the number one NFL pick is gonna be. Justin Fields win this game, and boy, we got a lot of debating that's gonna happen after this. I'm taking Ohio State in a upset. I'm rolling with you.
I'm not joining my partners in this pick. They are on an island by themselves. They must have never realized that Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. I like Justin Fields. I don't hope that he gets dropped like Shelby hopes, but he is a phenomenal quarterback, has done great things for the Ohio State, but Trevor Lawrence is just on a slightly different level than Justin Fields. And his team, they are tried and proven. They definitely beat them last year. Clemson beat them last year, and I'm looking forward to them beating them this year so I can get one step closer to Coach, because it looks like we've made some different picks this week. So I'm looking forward to possibly getting a championship this year. Appreciate you, Coach. We'll see what happens, but now give me Clemson. I can't trust Ohio State barely beating Northwestern and think they're gonna go and compete with Clemson. Give me a break.
They gonna be up for this one. Northwestern was like a trap game for them. This the game they were waiting on right here.
All right, well, we'll see if you were right, Red. We'll see if you were right. I look forward to what's gonna happen on Friday. All right, Jameson Black. Oh man, y'all got some traction. Ohio State. And then Chris Traylor is hoping that Justin Fields falls to the Falcons. That may actually happen. We'll see.
Me too. Me too, Chris. Me too.
We will see. We will see. Thank you all so much for joining us. Go with it.
It ain't just close. It ain't just Fields and Lawrence 1 and 2 now. It ain't no guarantee that Fields gonna be that second pick. So I'm just letting everybody know that the Falcons will have a shot at either Fields or Trey Lance. Now, if they blow it and don't pick either one of them, that's they fine. But you will have a chance at them, I guarantee.
All right. And Shelby says Ohio State doesn't even deserve to be in the playoffs. Agree and disagree.
If Carolina picked before the Falcons, they're not getting Fields. Carolina gonna get him.
All right. Do y'all agree with Shelby? Do you believe Ohio State deserved to be in it?
Well, just 6 games. Not really, but hey, they are the Ohio State University.
Did they win the Big Ten? Did they win the Big Ten? Okay. It's not their fault the teams Michigan chicken out when they're supposed to play them. That's not their fault.
Good point, Coach. Good point.
You better hope Shelby doesn't offer you any brownies after this week. You already know what they're gonna be laced with, brother.
Shelby, I'll take one of those brownies though.
Oh no, you. Well, okay.
Oh no, wait a minute. Wait, I'm thinking of something else, real. Okay,
yeah, she ain't lacing them with what you thinking, brother. You might.
Okay, never mind, Shelby. I would eat nothing from Shelby anyway.
Shelby on a whole other level, but Coach, boy, don't take any baked goods from Shelby, man. You definitely. She says she's baking today. I know somebody
had 911 on standby.
I know that's right, man. Don't mess with Shelby and her bacon. All right, let's move forward, gentlemen. Still in the vein of college football, Heisman Trophy finalists and snubs. We see the finalists. Coach, name off the finalists for me. I don't have my notes in front of me.
Yeah, please.
You got Kyle Trask from Florida. You got Devontae Smith from Alabama. You got Mac Jones, the quarterback from Alabama. Devontae Smith is wide out. And then, of course, you got Sunshine, Justin Lawrence from Clemson.
Trevor Lawrence.
I forgot I keep calling him Justin. Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
All
Those
right.
are the four, and that's it.
All right, Red. I'm going to start with you, man.
Yes, sir.
Out of the four, who you got to be your Heisman Trophy winner?
Well, first of all, let's say Justin Fields definitely deserves to be up in here. Devontae Smith, I mean, I don't know his stats, and even Kyle Trask, after those 2 letdowns he had, how did he sneak up in here? I guess they just looking at stats. Here we go with these stats again. But anyway, Rev, I'm gonna go out on the limb. I'm gonna tell you, I like Alabama's quarterback as the Heisman winner. He's having really one of the best statistical seasons ever as a quarterback, and definitely he's having the best statistical season ever as an Alabama quarterback. I like Mac Jones. I mean, we got to spread the wealth around. The easy pick is Trevor Lawrence, but come on, back to back. Let's give everybody a chance to win. I'm gonna go with Mac Jones.
All right, Red goes with Mac Jones. Coach, who you rolling with?
Devontae Smith. Because just like when we discussed, when you put up over half of your team's touchdowns from your quarterback, over half, that means that he doesn't get the stats if you don't do what you're doing. Over 1,500 yards receiving, 93 receptions. You putting up the numbers to help him. So, hey, he should get the nod and break that quarterback streak. I know everybody gonna say Lawrence, but Lawrence missed games. Mac Jones had his stats because of Smith. And Trask, he looked like trash last couple game or two. So hey, I'm going with him, Devontae Smith.
Hey, Coach, now how many touchdowns did he have, Devontae Smith?
17.
Wow, 93 for 15 and 17. That's NFL stats right there. That's pretty good. But still, I'll take the quarterback.
Well, the quarterback always gets definitely. Let me take Coach off there. The quarterback always definitely gets the shine, and I'm gonna roll with Coach's pick, even though he's not gonna win because that is more so a quarterback's award, and unfortunately, the guy who's throwing him the ball is a Heisman Trophy finalist as well. And Mac Jones will probably win it, even though Devontae Smith definitely deserves it, because out of Mac Jones' 32 TDs, more than half of them went to Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith boosted up his production after Waddle, who was the best wide receiver on the team, went down. So Smith picked up Waddle's slack and helped the Tide roll on to win the SEC championship, and they definitely are the favorites to win the national championship this year. So my heart says Smith, but my head says Mac Jones because that's normally a quarterback's award.
Now, Coach Rivers, the Heisman Trophy presentation tonight.
It might be. I'm not sure.
January 5th.
January 5th,
Coach.
next week.
Oh, January 5th. Okay.
Now that's interesting that they're having it after the first round of the playoffs, even though the votes have already been tallied.
That's why I was asking. Yeah, I thought it was usually before the first round.
Yeah. A lot of things. And the thing is, I don't know why they just didn't keep it the same day, because it's not like they're going to New York. They said it's going to be virtual. So why take it all the way to January 5th if it's going to be virtual? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. All right, so Kelly said Trevor Lawrence. Dante said Devontae Smith. Joe Black said Mac Jones. Oh, okay. Amani is still getting on people for saying Ohio State didn't deserve to be there. Amani has his Devontae Smith. Heisman means nothing in the NFL. It's been a curse recently. Yeah, there's some truth to it. No doubt about it. Devontae is absolutely a beast, but they won't give it to a wideout. Totally agree. And Vincent said the ceremony is in January. I don't know who's going to win, but all I can tell you is the player's going to be from Roll Tide. Oh, thank you, Big Wood. Y'all great analysis.
Sounds just like a Cowboys fan.
Oh my Lord, that was great insight, Wood. Y'all appreciate it. All right, we're gonna pause right there, and we're gonna make this officially our halftime of the Red Rev Sports Show, and we're gonna get right back into the second half real soon. So thank you all for hanging out with your boys, Red, Rev, and the coach for it's officially halftime of the Red Rev Sports Show. We gave you our dope note coat, our college picks. Now we got some NBA to talk about and some NFL football. So hang out with your boys, Red Rev Coach, for one more half of episode 169 of the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring Coach Patrick Thomas. Did you hear that, Horace? Featuring Coach Patrick Thomas.
Hey, how about special guest star, Coach Patrick Thomas? That'll work. Hey, Coach, we give you the Heather Locklear treatment. She was the most important person. Special guest star.
All right, Brother Horace.
What was that? Was that Horace?
That was Brother Horace.
I said stop, Brother Horace.
First cut. All right. Thank you all for joining the first half. And I see what somebody got to put Thomas Holcomb in timeout, man. It's officially halftime, and we're going to talk Bolivian slug riding. I'm trying to think. He's trying to come up with stuff, so he'll have one for us for the week.
Where does he get these competitions from?
Bolivian slug riding.
No telling where. As I go in the lab and try to find new tools for the show, no telling where Thomas Holcomb hangs out. So I tell you, man. All right, this has been good show so far. Let's get ready to continue on with the show as we recap the first week of the NBA. So let's get ready to talk my favorite sport. As Curtis Blow used to say, I like the way they dribble up and down the court. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for basketball. Let's do it Curtis Blow style. If I could get the doggone song up, that would be wonderful. Here we go. Let's do it. Recap. First week of the NBA as we talk some basketball. All right, the season started with a bang. We know that the Nets came out blazing against Steph Curry's Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving have let their mark be made known early after 2 games in the season. They blitzed the Golden State Warriors in Brooklyn and came back and went into Boston and beat them on Christmas. And then we also know that Red talked about it earlier, how the Los Angeles Lakers they didn't lift up their banner. They're waiting for the fans, but they accepted their championship rings in a very unique ceremony. And now they are officially the champ with their rings. And they did fall short that night against the Los Angeles Clippers, but they did bounce back last night against the Dallas Mavericks. So I just throw it out there like this. What has been the best moment for you, or what has really stood out during the first week of the NBA season? We'll start with you, Red.
Oh, okay. Well, besides the moment I mentioned earlier, I gotta go with the Hawks, man. I mean, the Hawks, the way they came out, I mean, NBA record 83 points in the first half. Man, I was at work with my headset on, just jumping up and down. Woo woo! I mean, folks thought I was crazy the way I was just like, wow. I mean, Trae Young, Collins. I mean, really, it was Trae Young led them all because he had 37 points and just pretty much spread the ball. Everybody got their touches. I like the fact that Lloyd Pierce put Cam Reddish in the starting lineup at the 2 guard. Good move, Lloyd. I like that move. That's definitely one of the good things I noticed. I noticed how the Nets started off strong, but I'm not a believer in them. But they have started off strong. But like Rev, I think they're going well, in the end, it's early now, but wait till that pressure mount up. We all know that the Nets are led by 2 mentally weak superstars. Yeah, it's easy now. It ain't nobody really saying nothing, but wait till the team start gearing up for the Nets. We're going to see how good they are. Like I say, really no big surprises right now. We just mostly 2 or 3 games in, but the Lakers ring ceremony, the way my Hawks started out, and the way the Nets try to show they're a team to be reckoned with, but we'll see. We'll see, Brooklyn.
All right, Coach, what stood out to you during this first week of the NBA season?
They pumped the Dallas Mavericks up, Luka, and they're going to be a great team. And their team has not started out on fire just yet. They have struggled. And, they're looking for old Chris Porzingis, but every time you see him, he's on an exercise bike or running somewhere or doing something. So, I mean, for them, they're one of the teams that I said might not make the playoffs simply because I don't know if they have enough to get it together, even with Luka and all his achievements. And then I looked at Zion with the Pelicans. If he gets his minutes, that boy is going to be tough if he gets his minute because he pretty much bullied the Nets offense. I mean, front court. He just a big old bully out there. They can't stop him going to the basket because he's big time. So he's going to be a pleasant surprise this year. So those are my 2 things that I saw.
All right. I want to be excited about the Hawks, but I had to recognize who they did that against. They did against the Chicago Bulls. I don't think the Bulls will be competing for anything, though what they did was quite impressive, doing 83 points, or putting up rather 83 points in the first half. That's definitely impressive against anybody. But the Hawks
NBA Live numbers, ain't it real?
Yeah, no doubt about it. While, though impressive, I'm not excited it being done against the Chicago Bulls, who I think they have a very flawed roster, and whoever's drafting for them I think they got a new GM, but that guy needs to be fired because I don't know how that kid Hamilton got picked so high. That kid was not the fifth best player or the fourth best player wherever he got drafted in this draft. So I don't know if whoever is making the shots trying to let this team just be a tax break or something because they're not really competing for anything because I just can't see what the Bulls are doing. But nevertheless, we're not going to spend much time talking about them. But I must say I am very much impressed with what I'm seeing from Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. I do predict a collapse once the playoffs begin, but what they're doing now, the way they went up in Boston yesterday, they are definitely shooting the rock. To have two snipers like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, that's tough to deal with because if one is not on, maybe the other one will be on and vice versa. So I really like what I'm seeing from the Nets. And then also I like the Lakers' depth. If they can lock up Dennis Schroeder with a contract extension, which they're talking about, that'll help the Lakers go a long way because I think he's going to help offset LeBron's age by taking a lot of pressure off LeBron because he can handle the ball and keep the team afloat. I still question the signing of Marc Gasol. I could easily see someone like JaVale McGee or even Dwight Howard being in that position, and the Lakers would be better off in the long haul, especially since AD doesn't want to play 5 the entire game. But I like what I see with the Lakers, and I really think they're going to be the team to beat. But will say the Clippers made some great additions. As I looked at them on the court, I do like the addition of Serge Ibaka. He definitely brings an element that they did not have, having a 5 who can shoot the ball from the outside. So that gives people like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George more lanes to play with, because you have to respect Serge Ibaka on the perimeter who can hit the wide open 3. Like I don't want to say the white kid, but what's his name? Who just signed the extension with them? Luke Denard, who came from Detroit. Yeah, he definitely is a welcome addition because he'll get a lot of open shots playing alongside with Kawhi and also Paul George. And a sneaky move that they made was Nicholas Batum. He's a wiry defender, a decent shooter, and he definitely is a welcome addition to that team where he's not asked to put up major numbers. He failed terribly in Charlotte because he was asked or he was paid like he was some superstar. But superstar, that he's not. But role player, that he is, and he can do exception well with the Clippers going forward. So those are my highlights and observations for this first year. Let's see real quickly. Let's see what the fans are talking about. We see Ice Trey is getting some love, 10 for 12, 37 points. Thomas excited about the Hawks and seven Hawks in double figures. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Lexus Hill sees that. And here's a question. Red, you didn't see Kyrie burning the sage before the game. He keeping that bad juju off him this season. All right. Any other thoughts about the first week? Matter of fact, let's throw this out here. What do y'all think about the shenanigans of James Harden? Harden once again exposes himself to the coronavirus, which made him not eligible to play in the first game of the season. They did say he's able to play on tonight. Is it clear that James Harden is doing everything that he can to get put out or get traded away from the Houston Rockets? Your thoughts? Either one of y'all, jump in.
Let me tell you this about James Harden. It's only one word, and you don't need any other words. You don't need to go into a whole lot of dialogue. Attention. And I'll stop right there. I don't have anything else to say. Attention.
Okay. Greg, any thoughts?
I'll channel coach. I'm not saying nothing but 4 words. Selfish, self-centered butthole. Done.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I went off on him last week, and obviously you see it ain't changing. The guy is he's just hopeless, man. He lost cause. Any team you be a fool to give up anything valuable for him, whatever you got now. I just keep before I bring that I don't really like the word, but before I bring that person who's gonna spread nothing but bad. The word counts. I don't like the word, but I would definitely. That's what he'd be if you brought him onto your team. Philly, look, if you ain't bought them on now, why bring them on? You're already starting off good. Honestly, I just keep Simmons and Embiid and just ride with that. Why bring Harden into that? Just somebody, they should just let this guy go play overseas. Selfish, self-centered butthole. Done.
Wow. Now you said something right there. Overseas, Red?
I'm saying, what NBA team is gonna bring him on? What would you be expecting if you bring him on? He's just gonna bring his act to another team. It ain't like he gonna change his personality or something. Like all of a sudden he gonna be humble. All of a sudden he gonna be modest. All of a sudden he gonna be a team player. Bull crap. No, I'm done with Harden. I could say a lot more, but it ain't even worth it. And I ain't trying to get worked up. I'm gonna say that for later. Selfish, self-centered butthole.
Oh my goodness, we got some comments about James Harden, and some of it is definitely hilarious. Chris Trailer says Harden doing whatever he can for the Rockets to let him go to trade him. Joe Black said he's going against himself. He's ruining his trade value.
Exactly.
Harden is pulling an Antonio Brown. Vincent Woodruff says shameful and shameless at the same time. Diva, Alexis Hill, shame. James Harden's doing this stuff on purpose because he wants out. And here it is. Harden is a walking hemorrhoid. Ain't enough preparation in the world. Wow.
I agree, Thomas. Preach, brother.
All right, man. Well, he's definitely doing what he can to get himself out of Houston, and we'll see that if he's successful or not. I really hate it for Brother Silas, who's the head coach. He doesn't deserve this, dealing with his first opportunity to become a head coach. Is really disappointing that he has to go through this during his first NBA gig. But nevertheless, I need to pose this question real quickly since we got a little time on our hands. Are the Hawks for real? I mean, are they really for real? Do you really believe that they can sustain what they did against the Chicago Bulls? I'm going to start with the probably biggest Hawks fan on the panel. That's Red, even though he's the biggest Lakers fan on the panel as well. But we're going to go with Red to be the Hawks guru at this time so he can exercise his local fandom. Are the Hawks for real?
Real? I hope they are for your boy Lloyd Pierce's sake. They better be for real, because I told you, he's going to be the first one out if they ain't. Now, as far as coming out scoring 83 points in the first half every game, of course not. That's unrealistic. But to have, what did I say? The Hawks are going to have to be the team they're going to have to resemble the 2015 Warriors. They're going to have to score and score and score a lot. Even if they down, we got to know that they're going to be able to put up some baskets. As long as they put up baskets, they got a chance. Now, if the defense can improve, which I didn't see because they still gave up 100 to the Bulls. If the defense can improve, that'll help us out a lot. But as far as scoring, that's their strength. The whole strength is scoring. Trey, Gallinari, Bogdanovich, Reddish, Collins, Capella, when you get back, we're going to need your boys and your defense. All you guys. It's the pressures on you guys to keep up with these teams and put the ball in the basket. Lloyd Pierce, you better figure it out, buddy, because the owner, Mr. Tony and Jamie already said they want the playoffs this year. No playoffs, you out, Lord. There will be a blessing in disguise, but I want to give Lord Pierce a chance, Rev. I don't want to just dog the brother out, have another brother get fired. I'm going to give him a chance, but he has to know that the Hawks have to make the playoffs this year. Whatever strategies you've seen, look at your team, come up with the best strategies. Definitely scoring is a good strategy, but Hawks got to make it happen, or else going to be some changes.
All right. Dante says define for real. Absolutely. Playoff for real. Absolutely. Title contender. Nah. And that's a great description, Dante. Thank you for helping us put some context to the word for real. I definitely.
Well, we all do that in the championship.
I definitely agree with that assessment of for real that you made about the Hawks. Coach, I'm going to ask you. Joe Black says the Hawks are top 4 seed. Do you agree?
No. 5, 6, 7, maybe. Not top 4. No. You got some team. Joe Black, Philly, Boston, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. You got to drop down a little bit. Not yet, Joe Black. Not yet. Got to get them working together. They're not there yet. Got to get them working together right now. They're young. and they got some pieces. They got to work around other teams. Those other 4 teams are established right now. You got a little thing going. They could be there, just not yet.
So do you agree with the other 2 persons who've commented they're more like a 7th or 8th seed?
I would say 6 or 7 right this year. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds
I agree
about
with
right.
Coach.
Yeah,
I agree with Coach.
That sounds about right to me as well. They have the game against the Grizzlies. Ms. Harris says, do they beat the Grizzlies tonight? That's a possibility. You never know with these NBA games. But they should on paper. They have the deeper team of the 2, and Jared Jackson, the power forward for the Memphis Grizzlies, is still out. So the Hawks should be favored to win that game. And here's the question from Thomas Holcomb. Has Collins signed an extension yet? No, and he won't be signing an extension. The extension timeline has expired.
Thank you. He don't need to sign no extension. The Hawks did right. He don't need, but he's not gonna give him an extension a year after he's been suspended for 23 games. I don't know what kind of realistic thing he was expecting. You got to prove it, Collins. So you go out this year, prove that you worthy of being extended. And don't worry, whatever offer you get in the offseason, the Hawks will match it. If you prove you belong, if you prove you don't belong, you'll be bye-bye. Gone, lost in the wind.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I think what really hurt Collins was last year getting suspended for that drug offense.
Yeah.
And I think that kept him from having an extension. Had he not had that drug situation, then that would have definitely caused the Hawks to sign him. And then also he would have had a chance to get them in the playoffs to show his true worth. But since the Hawks have not made the playoffs yet with them, they don't really know what his true value is. So therefore, it's by right that they have not extended, because I think part of them drafting Okongwu is because they may be ready to kick the tires on Collins. And don't be surprised to see them trade him if the Hawks are not in playoff contention.
Oh, yeah. I see that definitely, because so they can get something for him. Because, yeah, we don't make the playoffs. I can promise you, he ain't getting re-signed. We're going to move it. We're going to move on.
No doubt about it. All right. Well, that's some good commentary about the Atlanta Hawks. Let's get ready to change gears, and we're going to start talking a little football. And here's a little theme music for us.
All right, it's time for me to put my hat over my head.
What's going? My bad, man. I messed that up.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's the first topic.
I messed that up. What's going on with the Steelers, man? What's going on? Coach!
Yes, sir.
We need your assistance, man.
No, you don't. I'm asleep.
What's going on, man? What's going on with the Steelers, man?
Yeah.
Man, this looking bad, Coach. I thought the Falcons are a choke team. Boy, Coach. Come on. What's going on?
Man? 3 games in a row they've lost. They lost to the Washington football team, lost to the Bills. And then who would have ever thought it that they would be losing to the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow? Coach, what's going on, man?
Well, I can tell you this, and you can keep the camera right where it is. I can tell you this.
Tell us,
you look at it's a couple of factors. First of all, we didn't set the precedent for this, because you go to the Rams, who lost to a team who ain't won a game all year, in the Jets. You go to the Colts, who we play this week, who lost to the 1-13 Jaguars. They didn't fall apart. We're not gonna fall apart. It's about to change, because as I look at I always like to look at my injury report, and that tells a lot going into the game. And as I look at my injury report, I see Ben Roethlisberger, full participant. James Conner, full participant. Derek Watt, full participant in practice. Marquise Pouncey, full participant. David DeCastro.
Last week, though, Coach?
Yeah, he was out there, but he had to come out because he got hurt. DeCastro, who hadn't played in a while, full participant. Vince Williams, linebacker, back. Eric Ebron, who only played like 2 snaps, and he was out. He's back. Stephon Tuitt, who was playing, he's there. They're getting everybody back. Well, mostly everybody. We still got some guys that are hurt, but this thing is about to change because Indianapolis, what has been giving the Steelers trouble are mobile quarterbacks. Now, look at the last 3 games they lost. They played 3 mobile quarterbacks. Alex Smith, who you didn't thought would run, he ran. The last quarterback since that, I didn't think he was going to run, and he ran, which was a shock. And Josh Allen, who is the flavor of the month, but really the year, he ran. He just another talent that they got to play. So they played 2 extremely tough quarterbacks. And when you go out there against mobile quarterbacks, which they have a problem with, and the main thing is right now for our defense, 2 words: Bud Dupree. When Bud Dupree went down, that was like a stab to the stomach for our defense because now T.J. Watt, who was on his way to being possibly mentioned as a defensive player of the year, your numbers about to sink because no edge rusher. We double T.J. Watt. Hey, we can do a whole lot now. T.J. Watt immobilized, so we about to see if they can turn around in the Indianapolis and the immobile Phillip Rivers. You know, he not gonna run. We ain't got to worry about him running anywhere. So we can contain him and keep him in the pocket. And actually, we started to find the running game last week with Benny Snell, who had 85 yards. We started to, but large being that 2-second window of passing. Once he get past that 2-second window, it starts becoming dicey. But then the ball can go anywhere. So a lot of stuff has to change this week. And is it too late? With 11-5, no, it's too late. So this is your turnaround game right here against Indianapolis. This is where you decide if you want to limp into the playoffs or you want to start striding again and hit your stride. So that's it.
All right, Coach. I don't know why you were going on your Steelers soliloquy. There were some people who had some comments for you, and I don't know if you saw them. So that you finished, I just want you to see them. This is from one Alexis Hill. Coach is making excuses.
Okay.
I'll let you respond after we get through all of them.
Yeah, I want to ask a question.
Steelers ain't going nowhere past the first round. Watch. Maurice Throw, I hear the excuse machine cranking up. And so we'll stop right there. Coach, what say you?
Alexis Hill, I'll start with you. What's the excuse? What did I say that was an excuse? Didn't all that stuff happen? I went over the good and the bad. I didn't just make an excuse for the I told what happened. Ben wasn't throwing. And Red, you covering your face. You do this with the Lakers all the time, so don't worry about that. We gonna move past you and your face expressions. That's okay. That's why we where we are. And wait a minute, where did that music come from?
That was Maurice Throw on the request line. Look at
oh Lord. Dolphins fans playing some Dolphins fans of all the people Dolphins fans.
I had to get the fans what they want, Coach. I had to get the fans what they want.
Coach, I tell you, man, you're a good politician, dude. You sound like a politician up there to read about what's going on with the Steelers. But it's hilarious, though.
Tell us what your thoughts are, Red, and you could critique Coach's critique of his team, or you could give us some other insight on what you feel about the Steelers. Go ahead on. Tell us how you agree with it.
Everybody else is saying a lot of excuses. The Steelers just struggling right now. Bottom line, they're not playing good football. They turning the football over. They're not running the ball. The defense has not been playing up to par the last few weeks. Coach, you said all this was going to turn around the week before the Buffalo game. I swear we heard these same statements right before the Buffalo game. You said, now watch, when we beat Buffalo, it's going to be everybody going to come in and say something. Y'all haven't won since. So honestly, it's still just they just in a funk right now. I'll give you this point, coach. Y'all definitely are. Y'all definitely do have a lot of injuries, but lots of teams had injuries, so you can't really use the injury excuse. So yeah, y'all just going through it right now. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised y'all finish 11-5. You got the Colts, Indianapolis Colts, and the Cleveland Browns, two winning teams coming up. I mean, you already lost the two losing teams in the Redskins and Bengals. Now you got the Colts and the Browns. And you got some players coming back, but man, coach, y'all are in a funk right now. It's gonna be hard to come out of it. We'll see what happens, but right now y'all are just struggling and you're struggling bad. It's really no excuses. You're just playing bad football right now.
Coach, it looked like Red just Sunshine Anderson you. He said, I heard it all before.
Yeah, you got the music going today.
That's right, Red. Heard it all before. Yeah.
He's Sunshine Anderson.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him a question.
Go ahead, Coach.
So you don't think Bud Dupree was a big injury?
Y'all had some interest, but that's still no excuse. I'm saying y'all still have had you can't use the injury as an excuse because other teams have had injuries too. Lots of teams have had injuries. Been injuries happening all year long.
Okay, I'm trying to get to your point. So you mean to tell me if Tom Brady got hurt for the Bucks, that wouldn't change that season?
Well, is Ben Roethlisberger hurt?
Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. See, this is what I'm trying.
I didn't. First of all, I didn't answer your question because it's not a good comparison. You comparison Bud Dupree with Tom Brady. That's not a good comparison.
Why not?
He's a quarterback. One a quarterback, one a linebacker. The linebacker don't have the ball in his hand every time on every snap. Now, if you lost Ben Roethlisberger, then I say, okay, you got a point. But losing Bud Dupree and comparing that to losing Tom Brady, no.
So you don't think a guy that's one of the best defensive players on his team, losing him is not going to be a big difference?
That's not costing you to turn the ball over. That's not costing your running game to be sucking.
But what about on defense? What's causing other teams to be able to move the ball and to not get the quarterback sacked because you don't have that rusher, that edge rusher, who had 9 sacks before he went out?
Well, let me interject. Well, part of the problem, Coach, it may be your offense not moving the ball and advancing the ball like they normally. So that can have an effect on the defense, which we know quite well as Atlanta Falcons fans here in Atlanta, where you're going to tire out your defense if you do not sustain drives. And the Steelers they're not a juggernaut offense this year. So that's put more pressure on the Steelers defense to have to produce. It's not like the Steelers defense has been getting blitzed all game long, even since Bud Dupree has left. But because the Steelers are not putting the points on the board like they did, especially when they had AD and Le'Veon Bell, it's causing the Steelers defense to have to almost hold every possession. And when you're playing against those top-notch teams, it's just not going to happen. But let me flip gears real quickly, Coach, because you did make a statement that I want you to pay attention to what you made in terms of running quarterbacks. And I agree with you. This week, I would say the Steelers are in good shape going against the Colts because you're playing against a statue in Phillips Rivers. But with that being said, you got to really be careful. And I don't know how much optimism you're going to have going into the postseason about the Steelers' chances of winning if your whole premise was they've been playing against mobile quarterbacks, which all 3 of their losses came against mobile quarterbacks. They lost to Alex Smith of Washington. They lost to Josh Allen of Buffalo, and then they lose to, the backup who's a running quarterback for Cincinnati. Now, I don't know now how you going to pick the Steelers when we start making these picks if your premise is they struggle with running quarterback, because the top 4 teams in the AFC that are playoff bound all have mobile quarterbacks. My homeboy, number 1 seed right now. Josh Allen, number 2 seed. Ryan Tannehill, number 4 seed. Baker Mayfield, the 5th seed. How you feel about your chances going into the playoffs if you're struggling against mobile quarterbacks?
Well, that's what I was saying about the injuries, where we lost 4 linebackers. We got a guy that used to play safety was playing linebacker. He wasn't ready for that position. Therefore, other teams they said they got that in there. He doesn't know the position. We can do what we want. We can do a lot of things. Now we got Vince Williams back. Spillane is coming back. 2 guys that played the position, which is going to help shore that defense. I mean, I don't see too many teams winning when you lose your 4 top linebackers and you trying to put subs in there that hadn't played the position, like a Marcus Allen, who's a converted safety. And then you got the rookie, Highsmith, who this is his first NFL foray. He's not totally ready.
Before you give us the whole roster, I know you know the whole Steelers roster. So let me interject real quickly. Now, we know Bud Dupree is a bad man. Bud Dupree, rather, is a bad man. Now, are you suggesting to us and the fans today that the guys you just mentioned will be difference makers so much so that they could be in line to stop the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
No, and that's why I jump back what you said about the offense. Also, you get the offense is gonna have to get better. Now I agree with you on that point. The offense is gonna have to get better. You're starting 2 guards back. You're getting DeCastro and another guy. You're getting your offensive line back. It's just been patchwork, and the Steelers have not adjusted with that patchwork offensive line and the running game. Benny Snell gave them some light last week with his 85 yards rushing, which they ain't done 85 yard rushing in 5 or 6 games. So now, if Connor can come back, it's all about plugging people in. If they can get Connor back and Snell can continue running, the offense can stay on the field longer. See, that's going to be the key to the whole playoffs for the Steelers, staying on the field. Simple as that. Offense.
This is like listening to Congress arguing over the new stimulus package. That's funny.
Maurice Thrower. I'm not going to say anything because next thing I know, you'll be crying I said something about Miami, so I'm going to leave you alone. You can say whatever you want.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on that note so we won't have any. Okay, Coach. May actually have some legitimate excuses now. All right, here we go. Let's move on to the next topic, and we're going to bring it on to Atlanta. And let me just cue up the music right here. Is it the end of the road for Matty Ice and Julio in Atlanta? Have we come to the end of the Falcons road? For my QB and Julio Jones.
You're not your QB anymore, Real.
Hit him with that T.O. line. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
He's not your quarterback anymore, Rev. You gave him up, remember?
Oh, no doubt about it. He's definitely not my quarterback. that was clearly cynicism on my part right there. So, Red, let's go with it, man.
Yeah.
Is it over? Have we reached the end of the road for Matty Ice and Julio?
I'll tell you what. If it ain't over, it should be. It's definitely the end of the road. Matt Ryan, 13-year vet, been here 2008. And I swear, we reached the ceiling 4 years ago. Julio Jones, been since 2010. Been nothing but a Hall of Fame receiver for us. But, buddy, it's getting close to that time, too. Injury prone pretty much every week. You don't even stay on the field for all of the plays. You're going in and out the game, especially on key third downs. What's the point of us paying you big-time receiver money if you're not going to be on the field in the money downs? So, Matt Ryan, it's no more you can do for my team but to completely embarrass and then ruin it like you've been doing the last 4 years. Julio, thank you for everything you gave us, but it's time to move on. Calvin Ridley is here now. We got younger receivers that are ready to break out. And look, Falcons have reached their ceiling with these guys. I'm going to tell you right here, Real. The last big-time play Matt Ryan made for us was that throw to Julio Jones in the Super Bowl when he caught it on the 22-yard line. That is the last clutch play Matt Ryan and Julio combined together has made for my Atlanta Falcons. And that was all the way back in the 2016 season. It's the 2020 season now. Falcons are going nowhere. It's time for these guys to either be traded or retire or move on to their second careers. Because as far as doing anything for the Falcons, that time has come and gone. You know me, Rev. I'm trying to be the most realistic Falcons fan ever, and there is nowhere to go but down with Matt Ryan and Julio. Now, fortunately, with Matt Ryan's contract, we stuck with him for another year, but you can definitely trade Julio in the offseason and get something for him. Now, hopefully, this new GM can come in and be creative, and hopefully he can find an avenue to trade Matt Ryan away. But until then, we'll be stuck with his peppermint behind on our team for another year, and then it will truly be the end. Time for both of them. Love, appreciate what you guys done for us, but it's all about championships or rings, and I don't see no championship or no ring in the future as long as you two guys are clogging up the salary cap. So thank you for your service, but it's time to move on.
Yeah, you made some good points. Let me leave Alexis's up a little bit. I don't really think this season will be the end of the road for either one of them because of such cap hits. If the Falcons were to try to trade them, especially for Matt Ryan, the Falcons would be on the hook for $40 million. I agree with you, Red. It should be the end of the road, but I don't think it will be the end of the road. And I think they will give both players one more season due to the salaries. If one of them had to be moved during the offseason, it would be Julio to get future draft picks for the 2021 or 2022 draft. I think that would be done. But I think they got to start Matt Ryan because nobody's going to take his salary. Plus, I don't think the Falcons want to have a $40 million cap hit. And I think next year will be a learning curve year for the quarterback that they draft this year. Hopefully they draft one in the first round. So I think Matt Ryan will be like a mentor for this particular draft. 1 year. Yeah, I think he'll get like the Patrick Mahomes treatment, what the Kansas City Chiefs did with Alex Smith starting in 1 year, sitting Patrick Mahomes the entire year, and then Patrick Mahomes taking in year two. And I think Matt Ryan has a demeanor to be able to do like Alex Smith did in Kansas City, where he doesn't mind being the mentor for Patrick Mahomes with the understanding that whoever they draft will get the keys to the Falcons' car going into the following season. So I think we definitely have one more year. I think next year we don't need to worry about making the playoffs again because any team that's quarterbacked by Matt Ryan, I don't think that they have a chance of really doing anything. And it's sad to me that it took the Atlanta Falcons fans this year to really come on board on something that I know I've been talking about for 3 or 4 years now before he even signed the extension. The one thing that we have learned about Matt Ryan, I don't want to take too much time about him and the Falcons because we want to make our picks for this week. But the one thing that has been a constant is he's not a winner and he's not clutch when quarterbacks need to be clutch. In 2011, he lost a big lead against the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game.
No, 2012, Rev. It was 2011. He scored 0 points.
2012, my fault. That was the 2011-2012 season. My bad. 2012, he stunk it up against the 49ers in the second half. 49ers go on to the Super Bowl. Then you got the Super Bowl in 18. Stunk it up. And therefore, the Patriots come back from 28-3. On 3 different occasions in 2020, in this particular season, Cowboys, Bears, Buccaneers blows big-time leads, and then they wind up losing the game. And everybody wants to put it on the defense. None of those players who played last week, this season, were on the defense that lost the game in 2012. Half of those guys who played defense this past week and this year weren't on the team in 2018. 2020, they're on the team, but who's the main constant in all those different examples is Matt Ryan. He's not a
Peppermint
winner,
Ryan.
not clutch. And until they get rid of him, the Falcons don't have to worry about winning anything serious because he is not amongst the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. And to me, as a Falcons fan, it's disheartening where I had to hear who else we're going to get if we didn't re-sign Matt Ryan 3 years ago when all these other teams have quarterbacks who've been in the league much fewer years than Matt Ryan, who are accomplishing more in some cases and just about the same in other cases. It's sickening to me, but we made our Matt Ryan bed and we have to lie in it at least for another year or two, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's move on, gentlemen, get to our picks for this week. It's about that time, and I know Coach is going to feel better. He was on the hot seat a little bit with that Steelers talk when people were coming at him. So I know he's a little excited about this. Let's go with our NFL picks.
The Steelers were sucking.
And we're gonna go with our records. And Red went 2-5 last week. Won the Browns and the Chiefs. He's 80, 56, and 1. Red went 5-2. 77, 59, and 1. I'm only 3 games behind the Red. So Kelly, Longhorns might not be in my future. That's me having to pay the bill. And Coach is comfortably ahead 10 games up. This is probably one of the largest leads going into this late in the season by anybody on the show. So that this got to be the COVID culture. 90 40.
Even with the Steelers struggling, he still got a 10-game lead. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
So you struggling like the Steelers in picks?
Okay, you're right.
All right, so we're gonna start.
Hey, I still got Rev behind me. I gotta keep Rev in the back.
I already made my goal was to get near you. That was my goal. So I'm in good shape. So I don't have to. I'm not gonna try to catch Coach. That season is over. So my season is clearly on you and not having to pay the bill. All right, when we go to that. So that's where I am right now. All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead on and start making these picks. I think we're back on Red. Let's get it. Fans, feel free to pick alongside with us. And if you're on YouTube or Periscope, you can make your picks with us as well. We can see them. Here we are. Let's go. Red, it's on you. Bucks versus Lions. Who you got?
Tom Brady all the way, man. He knows what the mission is. He sees the light at the end of the tunnel. You lose to the Lions, man, and they ought to ship Tom Brady out and Bruce Arians too. Buccaneers. I don't care if they are in Detroit, Tampa Bay. You better win this game.
I'm rolling with the Bucks as well. Don't see Tom Brady folding in Detroit. This is a must-win, especially for the Bucks, so that they can stay in playoff contention. It's pretty much over for the division, but they definitely need this game to make sure that they secure a playoff berth. I'm going with the Bucks as well. Coach, who you got?
The Lions are going nowhere. They don't even know who the coach going to be, and he has unfortunately contracted COVID, so it's going to be the Bucks.
All right, Red, you want to say something real quick before we move on?
So I said that game is on at 1 too.
No doubt about it. All right, Bucks. Next game, 49ers versus Cardinals. It's on me. The 49ers have failed me in the past 2 or 3 weeks. The Cardinals bounced back with an impressive victory last week. I'm going to go with the Cardinals to win at home against the struggling 49ers, even though tight end George Kittle is back playing this coming week. But I think it's too late for the Kittle experiment. So come on, Lil Murray. I know you're going to do well for me this week. I got the Cardinals. Coach, I know you're going with the Cardinals, but tell us why.
DeAndre Hopkins. Who continue to show why he is one. If he ain't top 3, he top 2. Give him that. Hey, Hopkins is a bad man.
All right, Red.
I'm agreeing with Coach. After all this disagreeing, we back to agreeing again. DeAndre Hopkins, he definitely. DeAndre Hopkins pulling his Allen Iverson moment early this week, talking about practice and practice. Yeah, we know you don't practice much, DeAndre, but you definitely there on game time. Coach is right. He definitely a top 3, might be top 1 or 2 receivers in the NFL. Kyler Murray, my boy, you back on track after letting me down a few weeks back. I like the Cardinals.
All right, and I'm going through some of the fans' picks right now. We see the Bucks and the Cardinals are reigning supreme with the fans. Yeah, we see it's almost it is unanimous with the first 2 picks. The fans are rolling with our first 2 picks unanimously. All right, Coach, it's on you. Dolphins versus the Raiders. Who you got?
So you got 2 teams fighting for the playoff lives. They're in Los Angeles, right?
Yep.
They in Vegas, not Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
Vegas. Raiders. I think Josh Jacobs is gonna do his thing. Tua is not used to this playoff push, so he's not. I don't know how ready he is for some kind of pressure. So I'm gonna go with Raiders.
All right, Red, are you rolling with Coach?
Yeah. I'm picking the Raiders at home. Dolphins, they showed me not to believe in them when they beat the Patriots last week, but I'm going against them again. I think Gruden gonna have his boys. It's either do or die for the Raiders. If they don't win this week, you can forget the playoffs. They at home. You got to get it.
All right, I'm going against you too. I'm going with the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins defense will show up on the road. I think Tua is going to get a big time W. I think Derek Carr may fold against that Miami Dolphins front. So I'm rolling with the Miami Dolphins to defeat the Raiders. Next game, Panthers versus Washington. Who you got, Red?
Red.
Yes,
Red. Yep. Oh, okay. I'm going with Alex the accountant and the Washington football team. Carolina, they playing for draft spot. Washington football team still got a little to play for. Alex the accountant is back in the starting lineup. He's not the biggest game winner, but he's one of the best game managers. Washington defense is still on point. I'm going to take the Washington football team at home to keep their slim playoff chances alive.
It's on me. I'm definitely going to go with you, Red. I'm going to roll with the Washington football team as well to win this one. I'm just not sold on the Panthers, and I think they may be thinking more about draft status than playoff. Right now, they're sitting in the fourth. They will have the 4th pick if the draft were today, and I think that's probably more of a concern than winning this particular game. So I'm going with Washington to beat the Panthers. Who you got, Coach?
Well, Strip Haskins, despite what he did, I think Washington gonna win. Like you said, Carolina has nothing to play for. They just trying to see where they're gonna finish in the draft, get in the draft 3rd or 4th place. So it's gonna be Washington. Washington got the number 2 defense in the league.
All right, I like what Dante said. If Alex plays, Washington wins for sure. If Haskins plays, I hope Washington wins. That shows you don't have much faith in one Brother Haskins, and it's been definitely a tough start to his NFL career. The Falcons versus the Chiefs. It's on me, baby. Y'all know who I'm going with. And this will be the victory that the Chiefs will have in order to win the AFC #1 seed and have a bye in the playoffs. Give me my Chiefs in a landslide by 3 touchdowns. Book it.
Yo, 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns. They're going to make a statement against Matty Ice. And y'all going to see what real quarterback play looks like. So give me Patrick and the Chiefs. I'm done, Coach. It's on you.
Well, we know it's going to be the Chiefs, but I think it's going to be a closer game than you think. It's going to be closer. Chiefs may pull it out, but I think the Falcons are going to use their trademark saying to make it close. They're going to up for this one, and they're going to make it close. You know they're going to lose.
Red, it's on you, man. You tagged me in a showdown post, so I want to see if you have the guts to make a fool of yourself. Go ahead.
Oh, but don't try me now. I got the guts, dude. Falcons.
Give it to him.
Falcons. The way they're going to win the one game they're not supposed to win this season and just make all those fans be mad because they're going to drop down one notch in the draft pick. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be the game that they ain't supposed to win, but they are going to win. I don't know how, but some way the Chiefs going to let their thing stay open for the Falcons. Falcons might have one more good performance in them. Sad to say, it's going to be on the road to Arrowhead. Watch, Rev. Just watch, man. This gonna be a better game than you think, man. I know with all I've been saying about my Falcons, but this might be the anomaly right here, man. This is the game. This is what the Falcons always do. Whenever everybody say they can't win, that's usually when they win. And the Chiefs ain't been playing that great lately. They've been winning, but they ain't been playing that great lately. They still the best team in NFL, hands down. They probably still the Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl favorite, hands down. But this is 1 week, one game, any given Sunday. Falcons, come on. You got to give it to me. I'm going to be a Longhorn paying for these two guys to eat because of y'all. But anyway, no risk, no reward. Falcons.
Now, Red, I'm gonna give you a chance to recant your pick.
No chance. I'm taking.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a chance because I know part of it. You despise the fact that I'm rooting for the Chiefs now. I understand that.
Yeah.
I know part of that is because of my Chief fandom now. I get it. Now, you tell me the W that Matt Ryan has produced in cold air during this time of year. You tell me, because they're playing in Kansas City.
I can't think of one. He's been losing so much lately. The man been losing. The man lost 3 straight years. So I can't really think of one signature victory he's had in the past few seasons, especially in cold air. Any signature victory he don't have probably been in the Mercedes Benz, and that is regular air in there. So hey, you're right. I mean, the odds aren't in our favor, Rev. But I'm just going strictly on the history of this team. That always when we finally give up on them, when there ain't no hope left, that's when they decide to come out and play. I'm just hoping it's one of those weeks. But like you say, we all know I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs blow them completely back to Atlanta. But hey, I talked trash this week. I gotta have the guts to stick by what I was saying this week. No risk, no reward. I just gotta show you I'm a man of my word. I'm true to my conviction. I'm not gonna be posting stuff on your page talking all that trash, and then when it's time to make the pick, I completely chicken out. So,
yeah, I'm not even gonna brag once they get blown out because we already knew what was gonna happen. So
yeah, exactly. If anybody bragging on this game on Sunday, it'll be me because that means for some way, somehow they would have won by some miracle.
Nah, that they might have recorded this one in the Bible if they win this. All right, going on. Coach,
all right, you gonna talk them into winning.
I ain't the least bit concerned. Giants versus Ravens, Coach. It's on you. Who you got?
Ravens trying to make the playoff. They hitting that stride right now. Lamar Jackson has been number one in all the quarterback category the last 2 weeks. So it's gonna be the Ravens.
Who you got, Red?
Ravens. Enough said.
All right, enough said on my part. Ravens make it unanimous. Let's go down. The Cowboys and the Eagles playing in a division rivalry game.
Ooh.
Still has playoff implications. Who would have ever thought that? Red, it's on you. Who you got?
Oh, okay. I'm taking my boy Jalen Hurts. I mean, I like the way he's been playing lately. And both teams don't have nothing to play for. Both teams are sorry. Both teams are really pretty much out of it. But what do I always go back to? Who is the better quarterback? I'll take Jalen Hurts over redhead Andy Dalton any day, any week. Jalen Hurts, Eagles, let's do it.
I'm going with the Eagles as well, even though they failed me quite a bit this season. But I like Jalen Hurts going into Dallas, shocking the world as he did when they beat the New Orleans Saints the other week. So I'm going with the Eagles and Jalen Hurts to go into Dallas and win. Who you got, Coach?
Cowboys. Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game, but that Eagles defense, they okay. They give up a lot of points. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys. And they at home, too. Yeah, this last try for the Cowboys. And the Eagles just don't impress me at all. Even with Jalen Hurts, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing, but I still say Cowboys.
All right. So Coach got the Cowboys, and Red and Rev, we're going with the Eagles. All right, next game coming up. We got Bills versus Patriots. It's on me, I believe. I'm going with the Bills. I need Josh Allen to lead me to another fantasy championship. So that could be my dope moment for next week. So I'm going with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to beat Belichick. Give me the Bills. Who you got, Coach?
I'm going for the Bills. But I'm not shocked that the Patriots, if it's a close game, the Patriots don't pull it out. Now, you're not going to let Belichick start looking too bad. Now, he's going to find a way to recover regardless of what's going on. And he may sneak one on the Bills, but I'm just going to say the Bills in a close one.
All right, Red, who you got, man?
The Bills. I'm done with the Patriots. I'm going to pick them again. Through.
All right. That was quick, fast, and in a hurry. Next game. Last game for us to pick this week. Oh, no, we got three more. I'm sorry. Rams versus Seahawks.
Ooh.
Who you got? Joe. Oh, no. Yeah, it's on Coach.
I'm going with the Seahawks. Hey, Russell Wilson say he still got something to prove. And everybody keep talking about Jared Goff this and Jared Goff that. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks because the Seahawks in the playoffs, but they want to try to move up a little bit and win the NFC West. Seahawks.
All right, Red. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Rams. The Rams have got to bounce back from losing to the Jets last week. I know they are anxious to make a statement. They just don't want that to be the last. You lose to the Jets, you don't want to come and lose two in a row now. So I know they on the road to Seattle, but the Rams still gonna have their defense, and the Seattle, unfortunately, still gonna have their defense. So Jared Goff, you better take advantage, buddy, because the Seahawks gonna give you plenty of opportunities to show that last week was an anomaly. But if you don't, folks gonna lose faith in you, and they're gonna realize that the Rams, they ain't number frauds. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt this 1 week versus Seattle and that bad defense. Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well. Seahawks just haven't been playing good football lately. I don't like what I'm seeing out of Russell Wilson. That's why I benched him the past 2 weeks in fantasy football. The Rams defense gave him a fit the last time that they played. I think teams have solved the Seahawks, knowing that they're kind of like a one-trick pony when it comes to just trying to get the ball to DJ Metcalf. So this is why I'm going to go with the Rams to defeat the Seahawks, because I think Jalen Ramsey can neutralize DJ Metcalf and really make the Seahawks offense very vulnerable. So give me the Seahawks. All right?
Good analysis, Real.
Appreciate that. Colts versus Steelers. It's on you, Red.
I ain't choosing the Steelers in the rest of the doggone season. Colts, and I'll be choosing the Browns next week.
Now tell us why you gonna give the Steelers the victory. The Colts the victory over the Steelers in this one, man. Give us a little bit more commentary.
All right, man, we've been watching the Steelers the past few weeks. They turning the football over. They can't run the ball. They keeping every team in the NFL, no matter if they got a good record or a bad record, they keeping them in the game. So y'all know Indy gonna be in the game. And Indy still playing for that division. They playing for a playoff spot too. They playing for a better seed in the playoffs. I like how Indy have been playing the last few weeks versus the Steelers. Indy's defense has been playing. good. They're being more consistent than the Steelers. I ain't saying Phillip Rivers a better quarterback than Big Ben, but I'm just going overall as the team. They have been way more consistent this past month than the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are reeling. The Colts are rising. Colts.
Man, you made some very compelling statements right there, but I'm going with the Steelers. The reason being, this game is in Pittsburgh, and brother Phillip Rivers' arm is pretty weak, and it's supposed to be very cold in Pittsburgh this weekend. And I don't trust a weak-armed old quarterback in that kind of cold air. Plus, as Coach alluded to earlier, unless they play Jacoby Brissett more, Phillip Rivers is no threat to run the ball anywhere. And that's not going to pose any problems for the secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is why I think the Steelers bounce back from their 3-game losing streak and get back to getting a W. So give me the Steelers. Who you got, Coach?
Yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this Tennessee this Colts defense who gave up a few weeks ago 45 points. So they I don't see how they've been playing on point. But that's okay. You know what I'm going with. I don't even have to say nothing.
All right. Well, that's the shortest analysis that we're going to get from Coach when he talks about the Steelers. So we'll go with this one. Last game, it's on me. Titans versus Packers. Ooh, this is a tough one. But I'm going to go with the
Not
Packers.
for me.
Since they're playing at home, even though I need Derrick Henry to have a big game, I'm going to go with the Packers to solidify getting the number 1 seed. This is a bye. The bye is the bye is in play for the Packers. They're in the number 1 seed. The Saints are right on their heels, so the Packers have to win this game and let everything come through Lambeau for the playoffs. Give me the Packers. Coach, who you got?
Packers. Tennessee can afford to lose this game because we gonna take care of the Colts for them, so they can afford to lose. And Aaron Rodgers has put that gear in place. He done got it in the 5th gear, so now it's that time. He said, like you just said, the Saints are right on the heels after Alvin Kamara demolished by himself the Vikings. So Packers gotta win. So I'm going with the Packers. They Packers at home, right?
Yeah, they're at home.
Yeah.
Okay, Packers. I won't go any further.
All right, Red. Who you rolling with?
I'm making it unanimous. I'm going with my MVP selection. Aaron Rodgers. Packers. You already know I'm taking them as number 1 seed. I'm taking them all the way through the NFC. I'm taking them this week. Packers, Packers, Packers.
All right, that rounds up our picks for this week, and we see we got some Titans, we have some Packers from the fans, and man, so this is gonna be a good one. That's the Sunday night game. So looking forward to the Sunday night game. All right,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay home from work and watch this one. I ain't gonna even go to work on overtime.
Oh, you don't want to get your overtime check, man. This is big time for UPS during this season, man.
Nah, we riding it down. I'll be back next Sunday. I'm gonna chill this week.
All right, well, watch you some good football, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. What we're gonna do? We're gonna play a little Nupsy Hustles overtime. We're going overtime this week on the Red Rev Sports Show. For this is our last show in 2020, and who would have ever thought that we would be doing it virtually ever since the last few months of this year? We know that our show has completely shifted and how we produce the show and how it is displayed on Facebook. So with this being overtime, this is our last segment for the year. We're not going to do You Have the Right, but we're going to each give our top 3 sports moments that should be in 2020. Top 3 sports moments in 2020. So feel free to type in your top 3 sports moments for 2020. So, Red.
Yes, sir.
How are you, man? I have a feeling I know 2 out of the 3, but I'm going to let you convey them. But go ahead on, man. Top 3 sports moments in 2020. Roll with it.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me give a special shout out because I know she watching. She watching finally on YouTube, and we up 2 hour mark. I don't want to lose attention. Today is my mother's birthday, and I want to wish her a very happy, but I'm not gonna say how old she is, but a very happy birthday to Loretta Rhodes. Happy birthday, Mom! December 26th.
Happy birthday, Miss Rose.
I hope you still watching at the 2 hour mark.
Years, life, health, and strength. Happy birthday
Yes,
on behalf of the Red Rev Sports Show featuring Coach Patrick Thomas.
Amen.
yes, ma'am. Happy birthday, Mama. Thank you for watching. I hope you're still watching right now, but if not, I'll play it back for you so you can see that we definitely issued you a birthday shout out on episode 169. Okay. All right. Here we go. Top 3 moments. Rev, you say you know 2 of them?
I think I know 2 of them.
Okay. Well, we definitely know one of them is definitely, let me pull it up. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Definitely my Lakers winning it all in 2020. That's my number one sports moment in 2020. Man, it was a long time coming, 10 years in the running. But hey, you know, I hate on LeBron for most of his career, but he showed me, Rev, I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm going to come to your team, and I'm going to bring you another championship, man. Thanks, LeBron. I mean, boy, if you had heard all that stuff I said about you, my team would have been the last team you would have came and helped out. But I appreciate that, LeBron. Thanks to that, I'm finally getting off of you as my number one target now because I just can't hate a guy that's bringing championships to my team. So thank you, LeBron. You doing that has opened my eyes about your potential greatness and how great you really are because I'm seeing it. It took you coming to my team, but I'm seeing it, LeBron. Yeah, if you win 2 more rings, buddy, it's going to be a huge debate between the Jordan and the LeBron fans again, but you still got to get 2 more. If you get to that 6th ring, woo, boy, these debates are going to be on fire again because you know the LeBron slurpers ain't going to let the fact that you got 6 rings tied with Jordan. They not going to let that go. So
2 and
good
3.
job. Okay. All right. Now, that's 1. Now, let's see if my number 2 is Freddie Freeman winning National League MVP for my Braves. That was a long time coming. I actually thought I'd never see the day, but he did it in a 60-game shortened season. But hey, with baseball, you know, they count all the numbers. That's one thing I love about the sport. They count all the numbers. No matter how many games you play, they love stats. They love awards. So Freddie Freeman definitely winning National League MVP for my Braves. That's my number 2 moment. My number 3 moment, well, let's see if Red was right. It was definitely the Los Angeles Clippers collapsing right on their face in front of everybody. Boy, was that a joy to see. I mean, boy, and I tried to tell these folks, the Clippers ain't never made it past the 2nd round, and they still have to this day. Why would anybody choose a team that ain't never made it past the 2nd round to think that's going to be the team to dethrone my Lakers? Please. Fat chance and keep dreaming, okay? Playoff P turned right into playoff PP, right on time. Pammy George emerged right on time. So yes, the Clippers collapsing in front of everybody was my number 3 moment of 2020. So let's recap. Lakers winning it all. Freddie Freeman winning National League MVP, and the Clippers falling flat on their face in front of the world to see was my top 3 moments, sports moments of 2020. I don't know if they was 2 out of your 3, Rev, but we'll see.
You got one. I only got one. I knew about the Lakers. I thought you might have mentioned something about Kobe, but that was more somber moment than top moment. So I
exactly.
Yeah, I probably see why you wouldn't choose that. As we see that, you know, a couple of people have referenced Kobe's death as a top moment.
A top moment? Are you guys kidding me? What's up with that? What you mean a top moment?
Well, it's a top moment from a standpoint of sentimental moment, probably, and it could be. It's not an exciting moment, while at the same time it did show the level of Kobe's reach and what he meant to society. So, you know, I did not know he had that far reach. Where, you know, I knew people loved him, but just to see the love that they displayed even beyond basketball was just unbelievable. And then also what he meant to so many people after his career. I think that really highlighted why many people were loving on him to the depths that they loved him. But nevertheless, Coach, top 3 moments.
Number one, well, not number one. I'm not putting them in any order. First of all, the incident with NASCAR's Bubba Wallace. You got to look at that with the alleged racial incident with the noose and how his fellow drivers rallied behind him during that time. And you would have never seen that for a black race car driver, but they all gathered behind him and walked behind his car and supported him and his efforts to, things like get rid of Confederate flag. There were no Confederate flags flying in NASCAR events. He got rid of that in his own way. And to see the support for him during that time was big time. So that was one of them right there. The next one, the first time the NFL draft was held virtually. We had never seen that before. You would have never thought that we would have a virtual NFL draft. Everybody was used to the green room and everybody in the room getting the name called, coming up on stage, blah, 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 and everything. But to see everybody at home getting their name called and the emotions from the families and everybody doing the NFL draft, which then the NBA draft did the same thing. That was a groundbreaking, big time event. Like I said, you've seen the looks, but the NFL draft was number 2. Number 3, it's a lot with a lot of them categories. So I'm gonna go with I guess you got to go with the first woman to play in a game in a way, Sarah Fuller, even though she did minor kickoff and then she kicked a field goal, but there had never been a woman playing in a major college team before, and she did it. She got in there, she kicked the field goal, made it, which everybody thought, oh wow, this is a publicity stunt. But hey, a woman playing college football, does that open the door for more women to play? I doubt it. I don't think many going to flock to the game, but the fact that she got a chance to play in the game was interesting. So those are my 3.
All right. Thanks for sharing yours. You want to recap your 3?
Sarah Fuller playing in the game, Bubba Wallace and the impact on NASCAR and racism, and the NFL draft going virtual.
All right.
Great 3. Good 3 questions, Coach.
From 1 to 3, number 3, I'm going with Naomi Osaka, combining her activism along with her success on the tennis court, winning the U.S. Open, and every game having somebody from the black culture who had been slain on a face mask. That was just wonderful activism and also showing that she was for the cause. So Naomi Osaka gets my 3rd top moment of 2020. Number 2, I got to go with my Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, down 10 points in the 4th quarter to the San Francisco 49ers. And Patrick, my homeboy, steps up to the plate, help win Andy Reid's first Super Bowl championship along with his own, and the first one the Chiefs have experienced in 50 years. And then my top moment is the NBA bubble. 22 teams go down to Walt Disney. Then also while they're in the bubble, they exercise activism, and it could be argued that when they shut down the league for 2 days after the death of Jacob Blake, the NBA players could be somewhat get the credit for what happened in November. Because of their activism, they made sure that local arenas, particularly in the inner cities where there's a large black population of voters, they could go in and vote and not have to stand in long lines. But by opening up those NBA arenas, that allowed people to be able to go vote and not have to worry about how time consuming the voting would be. So those are my top 3 moments. Naomi Osaka exercising activism while winning the U.S. Open in tennis. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs coming back, winning the Super Bowl. And number 1, the NBA players in the bubble exercising activism and helping the nation go in a different direction with the election by making sure that those arenas were open so that early voting could take place. All right. Well, we thank y'all for tuning in. Let's see if we got any extra ones.
We got a somber moment in.
Hold on right quick. Vincent Woodruff listed his, got the Chiefs, the Lakers, and Lewis Hamilton continuing to break records in F1. All right. Thanks for outstanding 2020. Your show is entertaining as any on TV. Love you guys. Thank you, Mother Dear, for the love. All right. Showing some Naomi Osaka, the social justice movement on sports leagues. Braves collapsing in the Dodgers after being up on the Dodgers. That's Alexis Hill. I only got 2 moments that's watching you guys, and Rev allowing me on the show. What's up? That's what's up, Armani. Bless you, man. Bless you. I will agree about the NBA players' social justice thing. Yeah, thank y'all so much for showing us some love. Red, you want to share one quick moment?
Yeah, Coach, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this player, but Utah running back, Pac-12, Pac-10 offensive. Yeah, Ty Jordan. Yeah, he passed away suddenly.
I saw that story. I saw 19, that story.
Man.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's 2020, man. It's still
rest
taking them.
Rest
yeah,
in
he's
peace.
the offensive rookie of the year, I think. Man.
Wow, that's sad, man. That's sad. But we want to just say rest in peace to our guy. Red just mentioned that from Utah, and we pray for the Utah team and as well as this young man's family and friends. We want to thank you all for allowing us to bring you all the show. We were down for a few months because of COVID, and you all rock with us, and y'all are rocking with us.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's bad. We just pray for the family, but we want to thank you all for watching the show in 2020.
Yeah,
we hope that y'all stay with us in 2021. We hope that you all find the new format and more interaction to be good for the listener and watcher. And I hope you all enjoy the show next year. We want to plug y'all in a little bit more. So if you want to join us live on the set like Armani did one time when we had him on, feel free. We're always looking forward to having people.
Vincent, be ready.
So we'll definitely love you to have more of you all on the show with us regularly. We'll send you all the links so y'all can rock with us for a few moments. But we look forward to starting the Red Rev Sports Show up next week, starting a brand fresh new year. Looking forward to having a great time. Any closing comments from you guys?
Vincent, be ready, dog. Your time on the show is coming. And once again, another happy birthday. Shout out to my mom.
All right, boy. You better make sure you get them all in, boy. You might have been in trouble if you didn't get that statement in. Coach, any closing comments?
Y'all make sure y'all do what you gotta do to make it to next year, because we ain't promised nothing. Just hopefully we see everybody next year, because we looking forward to it. Just get out of the way. We said thank you, Lord.
No doubt. No doubt. And be safe, everybody. Exercise social distancing. Wear masks. This is nothing to be playing with. We want to see most of you all, if not all you all, in 2021. Be safe. Have a happy new year. And we look forward to another great year with our fans in 2021 of the Red Rev Sports Show featuring Horace Thomas, Coach Patrick Thomas. And we're out of here, fellas. Be blessed.